I want y'all to imagine you're shopping in the mall and you hear a sudden scream. You run up there, you find somebody laying on the ground, not breathing, unresponsive. Somebody looks at you and says, "Somebody help me, somebody help me." Would you know what to do? Now I want you to imagine you're in the mall with your husband, your wife, father, mother, daughter, son, and the same thing happens to them. Would you know what to do to help them out? According to the American Heart Association, 383,000. So think about that. 383,000 sudden cardiac arrests happen every year in America. That breaks down to over 1,000 sudden cardiac arrests per day. Of that, 88% of those happen out of the hospital. So what's this mean to us? This means that for 900 people a day, it's not doctors, it's not nurses, it's not paramedics or fire department, it's the common person, the bystander, who's going to save their life. According to the American Heart Association, effective bystander CPR will double to triple the survival rate of any victim that has a sudden cardiac arrest event. So again, this just reiterates it's going to be the common person that's going to be there first that's going to save that person's life or be the biggest effect in saving that person's life. As an EMS professional, something we hear a lot from bystanders are, I was either too afraid to do it or I didn't know what to do. And when it comes to CPR, they're not going to get any worse. The person's technically dead, they're not breathing, they don't have a heartbeat that time, so something is better than nothing. But being trained in how to do it effectively is going to give that victim the best outcome they can possibly get. With proper training, you can learn effective CPR in a short amount of time, and you can be very effective with it. Most of them are inexpensive, very quick. You can have a class done in less than a half a day. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. What we had in the firehouse, we got called to a clinic one day. And we got called for a CPR in progress. And kind of going through our mind on the way there, assuming we're going to have doctors, nurses, people working on this person, we pull up the parking lot, and there's a pretty good crowd out in the parking lot. And what happened, the patient was inside leaving the clinic, and they happened to go into cardiac arrest in the parking lot. No doctors around, no nurses around. There was one person doing CPR on this patient, doing very good CPR. We pretty much not took over, we continued what that person did. 2 days later, that person came back to the firehouse and visited us. It wasn't what we did in the ambulance, it wasn't what the doctors did, it was that person doing immediate CPR, effective CPR that saved that person's life. So knowing CPR not only is helpful to the community, but it's very rewarding. It doesn't happen all the time, it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. The CPR saves lives. So I'm going to break this down to you. Sudden cardiac arrest is what we're talking about, and that's when the person's heart stops beating. Almost 10,500 per day in America. Breaks down to 383,000 per year. American Heart Association estimates 100 to 200,000 lives can be saved with proper effective CPR. 100 to 200,000 lives per year can be saved with effective CPR. That's how important this is. All the drugs that we give, all the procedures we can do, the number one thing that's going to affect the outcome in a CPR case is good, effective, fast CPR. So what can you do about this? CPR is a very basic skill. You don't need any extra equipment for it. You don't need any tools. All you need is yourself, the ability, and the mind to be able to do it. The mindset that don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid you're going to mess something up. Just knowing how to do it. We can get such websites. American Heart Association has a great website. American Red Cross. They're both good providers of CPR instruction. You can contact any local hospital, and they're going to lead you in the right direction. Your local fire departments will be able to help you out. There's a lot of resources out there on how to obtain CPR certification. Not only knowing how to do CPR, but keeping it maintained. Every 2 years, you got to keep your skills maintained. And again, those websites that I just mentioned, they're very good at getting the instruction that you need. Some other things you can do: talk to your bosses. See if your boss has, or if you are a boss, do you have any incentives for your CPR for your workers? Do you provide training for your workers? If you're not the boss, if you're lower level, talk to your bosses, talk to your management, ask them, is there any incentive for me to get CPR trained? Is there anything towards the business that I can help out with? And ask them, can you provide CPR training for us in the workplace? So basically what this comes down to is the more people we have trained in CPR, the more people we're going to have out there spread out throughout everything, the better chance for people surviving in the case of a sudden cardiac arrest when CPR is needed.